So as Canada-U.S. trade relations falter, Canadian leaders say they want to make it easier to do business across our own provincial boundaries. First ministers have agreed to reduce interprovincial trade barriers this spring. Tim Brooke now has more on how that would make some goods and services more accessible.
The First Ministers agree. In the midst of escalating trade tension, it's time to focus on Canada.
There are a huge number of areas where we can do work, where we're already collaborating, and that will address our shared interest in increasing prosperity.
With U.S. relations on shaky ground, Canada wants to reduce interprovincial trade barriers. The premiers and Prime Minister believe reducing red tape would allow Canadian-made goods and services to move freely coast to coast to coast.
Regional autonomy is great, but then because every jurisdiction is allowed to be so different, it makes things incredibly difficult when they come to the negotiation table.
Though governments talk in general terms with no real concrete examples of what needs to change, experts claim fewer barriers could boost the Canadian economy by over $200 billion.
That's not a small drop in the bucket. It can definitely soften the blow for a lot of Canadians.
In Calgary, the head of CN Rail says lessening the reliance on other nations can't hurt in the long term.
We could be looking back from a spot where we've strengthened our borders, where we've improved our internal trade, and we've diversified our trade with other nations.
The Canadian Trucking Alliance said this week many fleets are reporting recent or imminent job cuts thanks to the tariff threat. Doing away with provincial protectionism could be a way to help.
Why don't we do it ourselves? We got enough land, why not do it? Create our own jobs.
Workers we spoke to say they're all for any plan that could cut back the long hours they spend at border crossings.
I'd rather stay in Canada, to be completely honest. I want to help build our own country.
And Tim joins us from the Road King truck stop tonight. Tim, this isn't actually just about the movement of goods and services.
No, Tara, this is also about Canadian workers. Now, as we know, it's far too often we hear about a certified professional, certified with credentials in one province specifically, moving right across the country and then being unable to practice without being recertified. Now, our leaders said yesterday that they believe every worker, from tradespeople to health professionals, should be able to practice right across the country if they're certified in the province. And so a credential recognition plan will be drawn up to try to fix the problem. And Tara, if all goes according to plan, it should be in place by June 1st.
Okay, Tim, thank you.